Minister, for many years I worked directly on school attendance and engagement programs across the Northern Territory under the former Labor government's direction. Millions and millions was spent on these programs, and all we saw was attendance levels decline under their weak strategy. I understand how critical school attendance is to student success. I also deeply understand the reasons for non-attendance and the complexities of the changing environment in relation to school attendance. In my electorate of Fannie Bay and across the Territory, schools continue to work hard to lift attendance and keep students engaged in learning. But we know there are families who refuse to engage and understand the importance of education and attending school every day. Minister, could you please update the House on what actions our government is taking to lift school attendance, support families and hold parents accountable for ensuring their kids go to school?
Minister for Education and Training.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the member for Fannie Bay for her question, and I do know that she, like myself, is very passionate about education. And we know that every child here in the Northern Territory deserves the right to a quality education, and every parent has a clear responsibility to ensure that their child attends school. And I don't think anyone in this chamber or probably across the Territory would dispute that we came into government saying we would boost literacy and numeracy, we would bring back school attendance officers, and we would make sure that we worked on attendance to get kids back to school. We know that under the previous Labor government there was a secret list that they had. We also know that there has been 328 of those children off the intensive support role, Madam Speaker, back into the classroom. And that is a direct result of the school attendance officers working right across the Territory. And I've spoken many times in here about those attendance officers, the great work that they do. But just last week, under the previous government, we saw that the attendance rates plummeted. We saw that the literacy and numeracy had dropped. But what we know that regularly those children that miss school are far more likely to disengage, and they become involved in antisocial behaviour and potentially can end up in doing crime. So that's why we have taken strong measures to hold families accountable. And we have said that right from the very start, Madam Speaker. As I said, no one would be surprised at us holding parents to account. We said that in the election. Last week, I did an announcement of holding parents accountable that have children that are totally disengaged and chronically are missing school. So they will be referred to income management. And we know that those kids that are on that intensive support role are the ones that are most at risk. So the income, we've been working with the federal government to make sure that we have been able to put the steps in place to refer parents to the income management. As I said, it's something that we've been working on for a very long time, and that's just one of the suite of measures, Madam Speaker, that we have brought in over the last year, just over a year. As I said, it's just one of the measures to support the attendance officers. We have ALOs, we just announced that last week as well. We've got Aboriginal liaison officers working in schools. We've brought back school counsellors. So there is a lot of things that we as a government are doing to make sure that we are holding parents to account and that we are making sure that children are getting back into the classroom. If they do not get into the classroom and educated, they will not have a meaningful pathway to employment.